On the road to Jericho, a dusty road wound its way down from Jerusalem to Jericho, cutting through sun-baked hills and shady valleys. Travelers often hurried along, eager to reach the safety of Jericho's walls before nightfall. A terrible ambush. One day, a man, let's call him David, set out from Jerusalem heading east. Maybe he was returning home after a busy trip, or perhaps he was on an important errand. His clothes were comfortable, his purse jingled with coins, and his heart felt light. But halfway down the hill, ambush. Out of nowhere, thieves sprang from the rocky outcrops. They knocked David to the ground, stole his money, tore his cloak, and left him bruised and bleeding by the side of the road. Poor David lay there, every breath sharp with pain. His hopes dimmed under the hot sun. 2 religious men passed by. First came a priest, robes flowing, head held high. He was on his way to worship in the temple, humming a sacred psalm. He looked at David, but kept walking. What if I'm late? What if the ritual waits for no one? He likely thought, though his heart told him otherwise. Next came a Levite, a temple assistant, carrying sacred scrolls. He saw that same wounded man, but sighed inwardly, muttered that he had urgent duties, and strode past hard, unmoved, shoes kicking up dust. The unexpected helper. Then came a Samaritan. Jews and Samaritans hardly spoke, yet here he wastes traveling that road. When he saw David's battered body, his breath caught, and he ran to him. He knelt beside David, gently checking his bruises. Pulling out wine and oil from his satchel, he poured them over David's wounds to clean and soothe them. Then, with tender care, he bandaged him. David couldn't speak, just lay, eyes fluttering, as this stranger cared for him, going the extra mile. But the Samaritan didn't stop there. He lifted David onto his own donkey, guiding him carefully into Jericho. At an inn, he stayed by David's side into the evening, making sure he was safe. The Samaritan paid the innkeeper 2 silver coins more than a day's wages and said, "Take care of him. If his medical bills run higher than this, I'll pay the rest when I return." When Jesus finished, he turned to the lawyer who had asked, "Who is my neighbor?" and asked, "Which of these 3 proved to be a neighbor to the man attacked by robbers?" The lawyer replied, "The one who showed him mercy." And Jesus said, "Go and do likewise." Why this matters today: true compassion. Love crosses every boundary, social, ethnic, religious. Action over words. It's not enough to know goodness. We must live it. Practical sacrifice. Real help often requires inconvenience and cost. May this story inspire you to notice those in need around you and to be the neighbor who stops, cares, and gives.